Promised the American dream, trapped in a nightmare. My name is Maria, and this is my story. A story of struggle, survival, and an unexpected twist that changed my life forever. I was born in a small town in Brazil where life was hard but simple. I worked every day cleaning houses and washing clothes, trying to make enough to support my family. But no matter how hard I worked, it was never enough. One day, a man came to town with promises. He said he could take me to the United States, a place where I could earn real money and change my life forever. He promised I would have legal papers, a good job, and a fresh start. It sounded like a dream, but that dream quickly became a nightmare. The journey to the US was worse than I could have imagined. I crossed rivers in the dead of night, the water freezing against my skin. I hid in the back of crowded trucks, packed so tightly I could barely breathe. The smell of sweat and fear was overwhelming. I remember one night when we were forced to hide in the bushes. I could hear the sound of dogs barking in the distance and the voices of men yelling. My heart felt like it would explode in my chest. I prayed silently, begging God to keep me safe. When I finally arrived in the US, exhausted and terrified, I thought the worst was behind me. But that's when the lies began to unravel. The people who brought me here took my passport. They told me I owed them thousands of dollars for the journey and that I had to work to pay it back. When I refused, they threatened me. If you try to run, they said, we'll call the police and tell them you're here illegally. They'll throw you in jail, or worse. I was trapped. Every day I lived in fear. Fear of being caught, fear of being sent back, fear of what these people might do to me. One night, I decided I couldn't take it anymore. I had no plan, no idea where to go, but I knew I had to run. I waited until the house was quiet, my heart pounding so loudly I was sure someone would hear it. I slipped out of the window and ran as fast as I could into the darkness. I ran until my legs gave out, collapsing in the middle of a desert. The air was dry, and my throat burned with thirst. I thought I was going to die out there, alone and forgotten. But then I saw it, a small, abandoned house in the distance. The house was falling apart, with broken windows and a roof that sagged in the middle. But to me, it was a sanctuary. I hid there for days, surviving on the little water I had left and scraps of food I found. I thought no one would ever find me. But then, one afternoon, I heard a voice. I know you're in there, the voice said, soft but firm. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid. It was an older woman named Rosa. She had kind eyes and a gentle smile. She told me she lived nearby and had noticed signs that someone was hiding in the house. At first, I didn't trust her. I had been lied to before, but Rosa was different. She brought me food and water, sitting with me on the dusty floor of the old house. She listened as I told her my story, about the promises, the lies, the threats. You're not alone, she said. I've been where you are. I know how it feels. Rosa took me to her home, a small but warm place filled with the smell of fresh bread and the laughter of children. She introduced me to people who could help, people who understood what it meant to live in fear. With their help, I found a job cleaning houses. It wasn't easy, but it was honest work. I saved every penny I could, slowly building a new life. There are still days when I feel afraid, when the shadows of my past creep back into my mind. But then I remember Rosa, the woman who showed me that kindness and courage could change everything. Today, I'm stronger than I ever thought I could be. My journey isn't over, but I know now that I can face whatever comes next. And to anyone out there who feels trapped, who feels like there's no way out, don't give up. There is always hope. Sometimes it's hiding in the most unexpected places. That's the end of Maria's story for now. What would you do if you were in Maria's place, fighting to survive in a foreign land with nothing but hope and courage? Have you ever faced a moment where you had to take a leap of faith or overcome incredible odds? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If Maria's journey moved you, give this video a like and share it with someone who might find strength in her story. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more heartfelt stories like this. See you in the next video.